Good morning, YouTube. So, I need to make a correction. I knew it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to yesterday. I even mentioned it in the video. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain what's going on in my brain. So, what I was trying to say was, I have been called out before for making statements like, one day I drove 710 miles. And then, of course, there's always those hecklers. Oh my God, how can you do that? Because they do the math. If we're going 65 miles an hour times 10 hours, that only equals this. And then you got brakes. And it's people that are just being ignorant. They don't really, obviously, they don't drive. Sorry, I'm holding this phone weird. I'm trying to make breakfast. And what I was trying to say was, the way that you can actually drive more than 600 hours in a 24-hour period is by your time. If you start at night, okay, so I'm gonna give you all an example. Hold on, let me get my shit together here. And if y'all want to know something really good to eat for breakfast, this stuff right here is awesome. The ingredients are in here, and you just put the eggs. I always get these little bitty things because they're small and they fit in the refrigerator really nice. Put it in the microwave, it's good to go. And it's full of protein. So anyways, so here's an example. I'm probably going to wind up doing this while I'm doing this 2,000 mile trip. So if that happens, I will definitely just show y'all what it looks like on the screen. Well, I've shown my screen before, and this is how this all started. I've shown my screen before where it shows it shows the days, and then it shows how many miles you've driven that day. I'm somebody who drives 500 to 600 miles a day. So when I showed that screen, I was talking about how it breaks it down per day or whatever. Your miles, your clock, as far as your miles go, your clock doesn't stop. So when your clock starts, nothing stops it for 14 hours. Nothing, ever. Being off duty, dying, nothing's going to stop that clock. You could die, that clock is still going to be running. What I'm trying to say is, at midnight, your miles stop counting for that day. Hopefully that makes sense. When I give the example, it might make more sense. So, for example, say you start driving at 2100. That is 9 p.m. for those who don't speak military time. You start driving at 9 p.m. That's 3 hours before midnight, right? So, in 3 hours, we're going to pretend that we're not in California because the speed limit here is different and the miles are different. So, we're just going to kick California to the side and just pretend that we're anywhere else in the United States. At an average of 65 miles an hour, you're going to get between 180 and 195 miles in that 3 hour period. So, on your system, let me show you. Let me see what's on here for now. I just reset, so there shouldn't be a whole lot going on here. Because I feel like it's not going to make sense until you actually see it. Shit, day log. Here we go. Hello? 8 days. Let's go. Exactly. It's not going to show hardly anything, but I'll show you what it's going to look like. So this is the screen that I showed in a previous video where this comment that really got under my skin came into play. So this is how it breaks it down. For example, this 10-6 is a good example. So they've just had me in California going back and forth, up and down, up and down, up and down. This 492.7 and the 112 were all done in the same 24-hour period. But I was driving past midnight. So at midnight, my miles stopped at 492.7. And then I got to where I needed to go, and then I had to reset. So, this is how, for example, if I would have started driving at, whoops, sorry y'all. If I would have started driving at 9 p.m., say I got, just say 180 miles in that 3 hours. So for today's date, 10/10, my thing would say 10/10, 180 miles. Let's do it. I'll get it even easier for you. Say this was last night. So on 10/9, I would have 180 miles on that machine right there. Right now, it would say 10/9, 180 miles. Even though I kept driving past midnight. And then, say I stopped driving. I stopped driving at midnight. I was tired. You know, whatever the case may be. Some people like to drive split hours. You know, whatever. So, I log off at, say, 12 o'clock. For just math purposes, your time is, your 10 hour is up at 10 o'clock in the morning. So at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're still within your 24-hour period, right? Because we have until 9 p.m. to make a complete 24-hour rotation. You start driving at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you drive for 10 hours. That puts you at 8 p.m. You can drive 600 miles in that 10 hours. So essentially, for that 24-hour period, you would have driven 780 miles. That is the point that I was trying to get across to you yesterday, is that when you hear these people, you know, coming at not only myself, they attack other people that claim to drive 500 and 600 miles a day. We're not claiming to drive anything. We actually are driving those miles. At least I am. I don't know about the other people because I don't talk to anybody else. Y'all are the only people I talk to. But it makes y'all question if what we're out here saying is actually true. Yes, you can drive 500 miles a day. It's a good goal for starting out. And you really do need to work your way there. Y'all saw me, some people commented on that video that that I have, were 50 in me or on the truck the very first day. He wanted to test my stamina. I barely made it. I'm not going to say it was easy. And in that video, y'all tell me I look like I'm tired. Somebody called me a zombie. Trust me, I felt like it. For the first day being on the road, driving that fucking long, I don't think that if I were ever to mentor, which is not going to happen, but had the roles been reversed, I definitely wouldn't train my student that way. I would ease them into it. Actually, Swift prefers that you ease them into it, starting with like 5 hours a day for a couple of days, and you build your tolerance up. You can't come from sitting on the couch for however long you've been sitting at the house to sitting down in this chair and focusing on everything that you have to do 10 hours straight out the bat. I did. I survived. And was it a bad situation at the time? Yeah, I fucking definitely didn't like it. And then coming back from taking a shower and saying, oh, now we got to make a video. I'm just like, fuck my life. But that's how I drive now. But I've been doing this solo with no mentor for 3 months now. This is day 90. So 3 months. So I've trained my body on, you know, I've built my stamina. I have the endurance to do it. And it's a goal to have when you first come out here and you go solo. And throughout your mentorship, your mentor is going to push you to drive 500 miles a day, because that should be what you want to drive. If you want to come out here and make less money and you're just trying to, you know, kick a little here and a little there, do that on your own time. Your mentor is going to have a schedule for you. They don't all have the same. They all are on their own programs, and that's just a totally different something I don't want anything to do with. But 500 to 600 miles a day, it can be done. Am I going to say it's easy to do? I mean, when you're first starting, no, it's not fucking easy to do. It's hard on your body. Your shoulders tense up, your neck hurts, your arms hurt. Like, your back is like, hello, are we gonna move today? Your brain is fried, like, and your bladder and your bowels are not going to operate with you sitting down for fucking 6 to 8 hours at a time when you first come out here. So it's definitely something that you work towards, you build up, just like going to the gym and working out. You know, you're not going to be able to bench press 250 pounds when you first get in there, but you can work your way up. You build your muscles. Same thing here. But 500 to 600 miles, it's a good goal. It's what a lot of us who are out here to make money, that is what we drive. But when you hear somebody like I did say that I drove 710 miles in one day, and you got hecklers being like, oh my God, they're out there with their calculators and pencils and papers and protractors and whatever the fuck else you need to do arithmetic, trying to tell me, the driver, what I did and did not do in my own fucking truck. Well, it's Swift's truck, but you know what I mean. This is my home. This is my workplace. You cannot tell me what the fuck I do in this truck. Okay? So, I got more questions about it from people that are signing up for Swift, and they want they're you know, when you come out here, you're making a big life-changing decision. This will change your life. Whether it's for the good or for the worse is up to you. It's really up to you. You can't let all these other factors going on in the world affect what goes on inside of this cube right here. You just can't. So when people are getting ready to, they've signed up, they've got that date, they're going to the academy, wherever that may be, they reach out and they're like, seriously, yo, like, you know, this motherfucker saying that you can't be driving these miles, and this went on this channel and this went on this channel. I get it. I've been there. I was the person sitting at home watching fucking YouTube, coming to Swift or whatever fucking company I wanted to go to. I get it. And like I said, in my description, I actually changed my description and put, results may vary. The miles that you get, first of all, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove that you have the stamina and endurance and the responsibility to get from point A to point B on time, all the time, and that you can actually drive the miles that you're asking for. That's first and foremost. So, straight out the gate, you may not be getting 500-mile loads because they don't know who the fuck you are. And that's just facts. I did get those miles coming out, but again, I guess I'm an exception. I don't know. I had been driving 600 miles a day with my mentor. Maybe that carried over. I don't know. I just got really blessed with my terminal. I love that team. Hands down, y'all already know how I feel about Team H-Town. So, when you come out, don't be listening to what you've heard on YouTube. Oh, you can drive these miles. You can. Can you? Yes. Is it realistic? Probably not right out the gate. Just gonna throw that out there. What we say on these channels, or I can't speak for everybody else, I can speak for myself. What I tell you is the truth. I'm not trying to make money off YouTube. I don't give a fuck about monetization on my channel. I don't give a fuck if one person watches. I don't give a fuck if 800 people watch. I don't care. I did this just so if anybody out there is just like, hey, you know what? I'm working in this industry. I'm a chick and I want to go work in this industry. I wonder what it would be like. That's how this started. So, right now I am thankful for all 811 subscribers. And if, God forbid, that happened to be 8 million one day, still not going to see an ad on this channel. It's not going to happen because that's not what this is about. This is about me sharing my experience. So pay attention to the people that you're watching on YouTube. I'm not crapping on anybody's hustle. I'm just saying that's not mine. I'm not a hustler by any means. So what the fuck is ringing? Oh, my iPad. I can see your call, but I'm on YouTube right now. Sorry. So anyways, when you're watching the people on YouTube, you kind of have to leave that shit in the back of your mind when you come out here. That's real talk. Because when you get out here, somebody last night stopped me. I was coming out from washing my face, brushing my teeth, doing my nightly routine. I'm here in Jurupa Valley. And this nice gentleman gets up and he comes and he's like, hey, are you Mother Trucker? And I was like, yes, I am. And I'm always really embarrassed. Those of you who have met me know I'm always really taken off guard and I'm always really embarrassed because, again, I can see the number growing, but in my mind, it's it's neither here nor there. While I appreciate it and it's very humbling, when I'm out here in my element, I'm not thinking about YouTube. I'm not. So, and I'm not thinking that people are actually watching these videos. So whenever y'all catch me, I'm usually taken really off guard, but I'm very approachable. As long as somebody did follow me in the restroom. Somebody asked me about that yesterday and asked if it was a dangerous situation. It's almost wrapped up, and when I can talk about it, I will. But yes, something, I wouldn't say dangerous happened, but something that shouldn't have happened kind of tried to happen. Like I said, I'll be able to talk about it in a little while. Some things just have to get handled first. So, when you're watching these YouTube channels and you're watching these people, you know, you have to think about their motives. Why are they taking time to make these videos? And there's a lot of real truck drivers out there that really just want to help people. And then there's a lot of them that are really just trying to make a name for themselves. And then there's a lot of them that just have really cool personalities that are really popular, and they're making a shitload of money off YouTube. And I guarantee in about 6 months from now, they won't even be driving trucks anymore. Everybody has a different motive or reason behind whatever it is that they do in life. I fall into that category of, I'm just here to share information. If it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't, click goodbye, unsubscribe. Like, it's kind of that situation. Boy, somebody really wants to talk to me. But the miles thing, I'm sorry that I misworded it. And yes, you can drive 500 to 600 miles a day. And yes, you can actually drive more than that in a 24-hour period, depending on how you make that clock work for you. And maximizing how many miles you can get in a 24-hour period is not something that you want to be in the habit of doing. It's something that will happen here and there by accident, and you usually aren't getting much sleep. And it's when you're shifting from nights to days or days to nights that usually happens. And this person has just taken that one video and just really gone and started commenting to other people that I'm dumb and don't know what I'm doing and blah, blah, fucking blah. That's what I got to say to you. That's it. That is how you work more than 600 hours in a 24-hour period. That is why some days will say less than 500, and then you see the very next day has the rest of the time that I've driven. So yes, in that one shift, I did drive 600 hours, but because of midnight, it happened to cut it into 2 different days. So that's the point I was actually trying to get across and explain to y'all. Because I have had somebody who's a recent driver, say that they remembered the video that I made on the Qualcomm, and they went to their 8-day after their first few loads and stuff, and they saw that their miles were split up and they didn't understand what was going on. That's what it is. At midnight, your miles stop counting for that 24-hour period, and it starts for the next day. That's the point that I was trying to get across. And to the gentleman, I'm sorry I didn't get your name last night, but I'm still truly touched. I mean, he told me that, watching my videos had really helped him and prepared him for, he just finished his first solo load yesterday. And everything in the world that could go wrong does go wrong. Some of the stuff I mentioned and some stuff that was news to me. So, take what anybody says on YouTube, not with a grain of salt. Like, you're going to pick up some gemstones, because, we're doing this for a reason. Mine is just to share the information. If it helps you, it helps you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's it. But I will never sugarcoat anything or tell you this is the fabulous lifestyle, because it's fucking not. Like, you step outside and all you smell is piss all the time. Like, it is very, very different. It takes some getting used to, and it's definitely, contrary to fucking 90% of the people on YouTube with trucking channels, This is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. And I will never try to recruit somebody into truck driving with any company. There have been people that have asked for my driver code or my name or whatever to put on their papers that come to Swift. For those people, I appreciate you. I do. But that's never my intention by any means. That's on their behalf and not mine. This gentleman last night, I was so touched by the words that he was telling me. I forgot to get his name, but I appreciate you. I hugged him. Usually people want to hug me. I hugged him. So it solidifies what I'm doing. There's some days where I read some of these comments and I'm just like, you know what? I don't need this fucking drama in my life. Like, I know what I'm doing. And, there's still things that I learn on a day-to-day basis. And, it is what it is. Fuck it. I don't need YouTube. I don't need the stress or the drama. But as a parent, the parent in me is just like, and the adult in me is just like, you can't let one or two people fuck it up for the rest of everybody else who's actually benefiting from it, no matter how small or big the benefit is. So I'm going to keep on keeping on. And keep doing what I do. I just really wanted to straighten out the miscommunication that I gave out last night, because that wasn't my intent. I knew when I was recording it, it wasn't coming across correctly. So I apologize, and hopefully that makes sense to y'all now. And like I said, it's not something you want to strive to do. You don't want to be on YouTube bragging about how you're breaking your back to make these extra miles that other people. Don't let that be your niche. I can drive 700 miles a day, because you're going to be a tired, stressed out, pissed off psycho killer if you drive like that. Find a routine that works for you. And, like I said, 500 should be a goal. 600 is really fucking stretching it. Like, it's really hard to do. Jesus. I think I need to answer that call. So, on that note, set your goals, set your limits, and do what you feel comfortable doing. Don't listen to us out here in Never Land. What we say is not concreted anywhere. You're gonna take what we say, and when you're on the road, there's still stuff that I pick up from, especially my second mentor, where I'm like, okay, now I get what he was saying. At the time, I'm looking at him like, bitch, you fucking crazy. But when it happens, then I'm like, okay. And then I call him, I'm like, hey, I fucking get what you said that one day where I was cussing you out. I got it now. It happens. So, again, sorry for the miscommunication. I'll try not to let it happen again, but please remember, I am only human. And now I'm going to find out what this person wants, and I am going to make some breakfast, and I will, like I said, document little snippets of this 2,000-mile load that I'm going to pick up today at 4 o'clock, and show y'all how it works. So, peace out.